A maintenance worker arrested, accused of stalking UGA students inside their apartment.
I do not feel safe whatsoever. I've never felt more unsafe in my entire life.
A Metro Atlanta mom loses her dream job. She says a background check company is to blame.
I just cried. I screamed. I was in total shock.
And federal laws help you protect your paycheck from debt collectors, but you have to act fast. When systems fail, people pay the price. We trace the damage, expose the truth, and fight to fix it. This is Uncovered by Atlanta News First Investigates. Two young women at the University of Georgia say they're living in fear after they found out their maintenance man was letting himself inside their off-campus apartment in the middle of the night. Atlanta News First Chief Investigator Brendan Keefe uncovers the video that led police to arrest the worker.
Woo. Woo.
We saw our maintenance man drinking our alcohol, taking very big gulps of our alcohol.
Consuming our alcohol straight from the handle, so taking it in straight to his mouth and dumping it into his mouth. And he was also seen passing out on our floor.
That's right here.
Right here, yep.
This is in the middle of your apartment.
Yep.
With the door wide open in December.
Roommates Andrea Papakostas and Alexis Nguyen watched the doorbell camera video that has these University of Georgia seniors afraid to sleep in their own beds.
Do a dryer.
It started when Michael Perkins showed up early one evening to install a new water heater at the Riverbend Club Apartments. Video shows he went right for their liquor cart. The police report says the maintenance guy then drank a whole bottle of liquor and passed out on the living room floor.
You see him passed out on the floor. You see him get up, punch his hands, punch his palms.
You don't want to come back? I'll follow you.
You see him punch the wall by our front door.
Punching his hands together and saying, "Come back so I can follow you."
You don't want to come back? I'll follow you.
The video shows Perkins wandering around the apartment for a while before eventually closing the front door around 7:45 p.m. But he didn't leave right away. He rang the doorbell, but a hand repeatedly covers the camera. That wasn't the end. Perkins appears at the door again at 4 a.m. the next morning.
What's the most disturbing thing to you on that video?
Coming at 4 o'clock in the morning at a time where most people are sleeping, him trying to enter our apartment.
He's reaching for the doorknob, and he is seen twisting the doorknob without a key and without knowing that it's locked.
The women were not home. They had just left for winter break.
My mind goes to a whole bunch of scenarios of what could have happened if I was sleeping or my roommate was sleeping in our rooms.
Alexis was jolted awake by the sound of her Ring doorbell and watched the rest unfold via live video on the app.
They're dead.
He was heard saying, "They are dead," quote unquote, "they are dead."
They're dead.
What is this guy thinking? Clearly, it has to be about us because you are outside of our apartment trying to enter at 4 o'clock and then you are heard saying, "They are dead."
Can I help you? It's 4:30 a.m.
Yeah, I didn't hook up your water heater, and not only did I not hook up your water heater, but I left my phone.
Hurry up and go get it, please. It's way
Okay.
too early.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll be very quick.
What are you doing?
That led the roommates to check all the video.
Yeah, he's covering.
Once they saw recordings of him drinking and sprawled out on the floor hours earlier, they called police. Jail records show Perkins was arrested on charges of burglary and stalking. The women, no longer feeling safe in their apartment, asked the complex to move them.
When you immediately notified them in December, they changed the locks, they fired him. Then you guys send a letter through an attorney at the end of December. It's now the middle of January,
Correct.
and you're still in this apartment.
Yes, and the apartment change, the unit change was big on our request, at least the bare minimum.
It's been 2 weeks since you sent a letter asking to be moved.
Yes.
And it's been a month since he was arrested.
Yes.
And you're still in this apartment.
Correct. Yes. No action has been taken besides changing our locks.
Riverbend Club Apartments and their attorney did not respond to multiple emails sent by Atlanta News First Investigates over a week. Records we obtained show the day after we recorded these interviews with the students, the complex offered to let them out of their lease and pay for the alcohol and moving expenses. Unfortunately, Riverbend Club does not have a unit available for them to relocate, the apartment's attorney told them. We were not able to reach Perkins in jail.
I mean, my life is at stake. I feel like, who knows, after he makes bond, he might want to seek revenge that we put him in jail. My mind just wanders as to what could happen to me or my roommate.
He knows where you live.
Yes.
Is that the biggest concern?
Yes.
I mean, he could make bond and he knows why he was in jail.
Correct.
Because you called the police.
Yep.
Do you feel safe right now?
I do not feel safe whatsoever. I've never felt more unsafe in my entire life.
Wow, Brennan, this is a really scary case for certainly these girls, but I'm sure also their parents. What's happened since your reporting? We know he was in jail. Any updates there?
Yeah, Perkins has bonded out at this point and is awaiting trial on these charges.
Where are the roommates now? I know we want to be sensitive and protect their location, but are they still associated with that property?
No, they're out. They found another place to live and they're seniors, so they're graduating. This was the big problem for them because how do they find another place to live for only a couple of months? And very few apartments will rent for a couple of months. Especially in a place like Athens where there's a tremendous amount of demand for student housing. But they were able to find another place to live, and soon they won't be Athens residents anymore because they'll be graduating from the University of Georgia.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not feasible because apartment complex will want you to do the month to month, and ultimately they're trying to discourage that, and that's why they make the prices so significant. But we're happy the girls are safe. They have an attorney. What's the ultimate goal here? Are they suing? Is there a civil case? What's happening there?
Yeah, one of the students, her brother is a corporate attorney and actually served as their attorney in this case and sent a demand letter. And the demand letter sent to the apartment complex really asked for some basic things like reimburse us for the alcohol, find us another place to live. They said preferably even within the same complex or another property within the ownership of the same apartment complex. There were no other units available according to emails we obtained. We do know there was a settlement, and that settlement included a confidentiality agreement, but that did not mean it was retroactive. The interviews we did with them and everything we talked to them about before they signed that agreement was fair game. We don't know any more because they're not allowed to talk to us about the case anymore.
A single mother says errors on her background check cost her a six-figure job. ANF Investigates uncovers what went wrong.
A single mother says background check errors cost her a six-figure salary and left her struggling to provide for her children. Atlanta News First investigator Anastasia Olmos uncovered a pattern of alleged mistakes and millions of dollars in settlements paid out by a company many employers rely on.
You almost here, keep going.
Krishan Tucker's world revolves around
Focus.
her boys.
You made it. Oh.
Working hard to make sure they have a home and a safe place to play.
Coming from where I came from in childhood and going to 15 different elementary schools, living in shelters, living in hotels. My children have never experienced that, and I fought for that.
But the fall season brought a series of unfortunate events. Laid off from her job, receiving an abnormal mammogram, and ending her marriage, all within 2 months.
Me and my two children went to stay at a hotel in Atlanta.
She applied to dozens of jobs before landing a dream position contracting for a management consulting company.
November 19th, that's when I got the official offer letter.
The job, a compliance and operations manager for a hospital provider. The pay, $165 an hour.
It was literally a miracle for me.
And a home. Friends and family rallied to help her secure a place to rent.
Ended up coming up with all of the money for me and my kids to move into the home before Christmas.
She was supposed to start the job in early December.
Before I could even begin, it was just ripped away.
The onboarding company, MBO Partners, told her they were waiting on a background check from another company called HireRight. Days later, they put her employment on hold, referencing the background report.
You start seeing all those red text here showing discrepancies.
The discrepancies, verification of contract jobs and freelance work, including employment dates off by more than 6 months and unable to verify employment. Employee notes revealed a company she contracted with in 2017-2018 said she never worked there. But Chrisean found a simple explanation after calling the company HR rep herself.
She said, well, the issue is they sent the request asking for me to verify employment for Chrisean Tucker, not Chrisean Dawson.
Dawson was her former last name. Atlanta News First Investigates confirmed Chrisean had disclosed this to HireRight when she filled out her background check form.
They just ran past that.
On December 17th, her previous employer emailed HireRight to correct the mistake.
He said, I have just learned that the verification request for Chrisean Tucker is actually for Chrisean Dawson.
Chrisean says HireRight told her a formal dispute would take 30 days.
I was like, I don't have 30 days. 1st of January is coming. I'm going to have rent to pay.
She called HireRight multiple times between December 16th and the 22nd, submitting additional proof to confirm her work history.
W-2s, I provided my work ID, my badge.
But on December 23rd, HireRight sent an updated background check to the onboarding company, still showing discrepancies for the timeline of her employment history. She then received a final adverse action email. The company would not be moving forward with her employment.
I just cried. I screamed. I was in total shock.
HireRight told Atlanta News First Investigates they're unable to comment on the matter. But when Chrisean wrote a complaint on the Better Business Bureau website, HireRight responded saying, while the employer verifications portion in your report was updated with employment information received, changes are not and cannot be made to the information that is originally submitted to HireRight. For questions regarding their hiring process or hiring decision, please contact the employer directly, which the onboarding company, MBO Partners, told her not to do. According to their website, HireRight serves more than 40,000 companies, including nearly half of the Fortune 100. But HireRight averages just 1 star on Google and the BBB. Many claim HireRight messed up their background check. Most of HireRight's responses state either they're still working on it or the report is closed. Atlanta News First Investigates pulled federal data and found complaints nearly tripled in 2025, with 91 complaints to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau across 29 states. In every case, HireRight reported that they closed the complaint, but it's unclear if the problem was actually fixed. We reached out to the federal agency, but did not hear back. We also found dozens of lawsuits throughout the U.S. in 2025 claiming HireRight failed to verify information. In many cases, HireRight denied allegations. Several cases ended in settlements. But this isn't new. HireRight paid $2.6 million to the Federal Trade Commission in 2012 for failing to ensure accuracy and reinvestigate disputes, according to the FTC. The year before, they paid $28 million to settle a national class action lawsuit for similar alleged violations. HireRight tells us they're unable to comment.
Do it again, you got it.
Chrisean is picking up any part-time work she can to pay rent,
Straighten it out, straighten it out, straighten it out.
while she applies for other healthcare jobs, falling behind on bills and unable to afford healthcare.
Every day I wake up and I'm just like, did this really happen? Was I dreaming? Because I really feel stuck in a nightmare.
Anastasia, you really just feel for this mother. You're hoping to see some light at the end of the tunnel for her as you're watching this. Any positive updates you can share?
I would say the positive update is that she's still in her home. She has been able to ask friends and family for help and also pick up part-time work. She's substitute teaching, which is really not what, her resume qualifies her for. She's just trying to get by right now. But if there are any viewers who feel compelled to try to help her out, she would greatly appreciate that.
I'm still curious though, did the employer ever say to her specifically why they were not moving forward with the offer?
So that's what this piece is very complicated, and I understand that, especially when there's 3 different parties involved. You've got the employer, the hiring employer, and then the background check company. So really, Chrisean never spoke with the actual employer because that middleman, MBO Partners, they also help get people jobs. So everything was through them as helping independent contractors. And they told her that it was the background check. And they said, background check, but specifically the discrepancies in the past work. And so we try to detail what those things could be. And really, when she does freelance work, she has her own company that she's done freelance work. She's been in several states. She works under huge companies. And sometimes when you're contracting, you're working for that specific contractor underneath that big company. And therefore on the resume, it can get very confusing. And she said, if they could just count the months, it's accurate. But instead, it's, discrepancy. And once it's on there, it doesn't change. And so she really never got to talk to the actual employer, because for someone like you and I, you think, well, just explain this to the employer. They'll understand. Nope, you see in that email, they tell her, do not reach out to the employer directly. And we could not get a comment from them either.
There was a middleman. Why? Why was there a middleman in all of this?
Big companies, when they're hiring so many people, especially for remote work, there's going to be that middleman who helps connect you. It is not uncommon, but when so many people are involved and you can't get to the source and talk human to human, gosh, it's heartbreaking when these things happen.
Right. Well, background checks are protected. Help us know our rights.
Okay, so this actually falls under the federal law called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It gives everyone the right to be notified if a background check affected a hiring decision. You can get a copy of your report. That is under the law, so you want to be able to see that. You are legally allowed to dispute errors and have them corrected within 30 days. Now, you can file an official complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau on their website if these things were not done correctly.
A debt collector calls. They say you owe money. Next on Uncovered, the federal law that could protect your wallet.
It's not what you want to hear, but protections from debt collectors here in Georgia are among the worst in the nation, according to experts. But consumer investigator Better Call Harry explains the federal law that guarantees you the rights and steps you need to take.
When a debt collector says you owe money, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act gives you the right to know if they're legitimate. According to the U.S. federal law, debt collectors have 5 days after contacting you to send a written notice. It must identify what you owe and who the original creditor is. The law also requires them to tell you that you have 30 days to dispute the debt or request verification. That 30-day window is critical. Doing nothing means they'll consider the debt valid and keep trying to collect. Should you dispute it? Yes, because it gives you time. Creditors are required to pause collection attempts until they can prove what you owe. If the debt collector can't get verification from the creditor, they can't collect on the account. If they threaten to put it on your credit report, dispute it. Keep track of all calls, emails, and texts.
Harry, there are going to be people watching this story and they say, hey, I don't have debt. I have proof that I don't owe anything. What should they do next?
Well, you've got to dispute it, obviously. And you can, I would start, because you want to protect your credit report, by going to all 3 credit bureaus. So you go to Equifax. These are all separate. Experian, TransUnion. We have links on our website about those. And I talk about these credit bureaus all the time, because those are the main 3 credit bureaus that if somebody's coming after you for an uncollected debt, the last thing you want to do is have that debt be reported to them, because once it's on your record, then it stays on there. Or if it is on there already, let's say they have reported, you can dispute it. And by disputing it, you have the right to tell them, to make them prove that you owe the debt. So after you file each one of those complaints, they have to answer. If they don't answer within, I believe it's 30 days. And if they don't answer, then it should come off your credit report. Now, if they're just coming after you and saying that you owe the debt, you can say, prove it, send me the documentation. And if they continue to contact you, you can write them what's called a drop dead letter. This is under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, where you basically tell them, go away, don't call me anymore. And by law, they have to stop.
Does the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau help with any of this? Should we be reporting things to them?
Yeah, you should report it. You should definitely, but the main thing is to call first and try and work it out. If you let's say maybe you forgot about it and you do owe it. It depends on how far back it goes. They have a certain amount of time to come after you for the debt. After that, Yeah. So there you go, and just continue to fight.
Great tips. You can listen to all of our extended conversations on these stories right now on our podcast, Behind the Investigation. Just search Atlanta News First on your favorite podcast platform. You're watching Uncovered by Atlanta News First Investigates, a weekly hour-long investigative show with new episodes launching every Sunday at 7.